Oof, what up? It's been a while. Anyways, welcome to season 6. Season 6, The Robby Rowe Show. Yeah, I bet you didn't know I had seasons. I'm that professional. Season 6, we're going to kick this off with a little Q&A. So, let's get to it.
May I have your attention, please?
You're my leader.
You're now listening to Clear the Mechanism.
The Robby Rowe Show.
The Robby Rowe Show.
All right. Yeah, like I said, it's been a minute. All good though. So I kind of want to just throw this episode up there, give you guys a little rundown of what's been going on in my life and some of the things that I've been working on and doing and I want to bring to you guys, and as well as where I'm at as far as like playing goes. I've been getting a lot of questions regarding playing, so I'm just like, I'll just do a podcast on that. So we're going to break all that down first. We're going to talk about that, and then I just threw up a little question box on IG Q&A thing, like the IG stories, which is super cool. And I got a lot of really good questions. So we're just going to like hammer a Q&A, right? I don't know how many questions I'm going to take. Literally, probably just keep talking until I get so parched that I need to hit stop and get a drink. So I don't know, when was the last episode that I did? It recapped or it finished season 5. I don't know exactly which it was, because I know when like the whole pandemic thing hit, I was like, all right, we're going to pump out podcasts. And I wasn't even really thinking at the time about like my remote coaching, essentially company, business, whatever you want to call it. And as soon as this quarantine thing hit, man, my business took off, which is obviously a great thing. But I had to put a ton of stuff on the back, including the podcast. I literally had no idea how busy I was going to get. I mean, I'm still busy, but I'm just going to try to push out super simplistic episodes. Just to provide something for you guys, because I get a lot of like messages from people saying, you know, it's really easy to throw on a 15-20 minute podcast episode in the car on the way to whatever. And I guess I've never really thought about it that way. So I don't know why you enjoy listening to my voice in the first place, but I'm just gonna hammer these out as much as I can. For those of you guys who don't know, and this isn't me to brag or anything, but it legitimately takes me probably like a total of 6 hours just to get a podcast up. Now, it's different solo podcasts like this one because it doesn't take as long. But if I'm doing a recorded interview with somebody, it takes a long time, and that's why I've kind of had to put that on the back burner. But like I said, season 6 is starting up now. I'm going to try to schedule some interviews with some people. I don't even know why I call them interviews, more like conversations, and get those up. What else was I going to say in the beginning? Oh, it's going to be a little bit different now, I guess, because in order for me to save time, and again, I'm doing this all on my own. I'm super stubborn and I don't want to hire a guy, but I'm doing this before, spend probably like a separate 2 hours working on the show notes of the episode if I have like a guest on, and creating a web page, like a landing page for the episode to give you guys the link so you guys can go to it and check out everything else, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to like put it up on the podcast platform, and it's going to go to all the different, apps and stuff. And then that's it. Like I'll include like a brief little show notes maybe, just because I'm a perfectionist, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Just to save time, just to pump out as much as I can. Okay, so I want to start by kind of breaking down where I'm at personally. For those of you guys who've been like legit following my journey, and I appreciate you guys that have. I was in Omaha rehabbing from that lat surgery that took me out all of 2019. I want to do a separate podcast episode just talking about that whole injury process and everything. But I was in Omaha, and then what feels like yesterday, but apparently it was a long time ago, I remember leaving Omaha on Thanksgiving, and I left, and I came back to my hometown in Northern California, and it was literally like I was just coming back to get some long toss in because Omaha was freaking snowing every day, and then my season was going to start. And I was, banking on getting a spring training invite, and man, well, that just goes to show you, you have like a whole plan in your head and a whole process on how to make that plan happen, and then God's like, we're gonna switch things. 12-6 curveball, sorry about it, buckled. So as you guys most know, like. That didn't happen. Multiple reasons. Major League Spring Training started, and at that time, I didn't get a contract. I had a lot of interest, but I didn't get a contract. So most of people don't know this, but like I was slated to go to independent baseball. I was going to go to indie ball, and I was really happy with like where I was going because I really got along with all the guys and the manager. And anyways, slated to go there, and then this whole pandemic thing happened, right? And so it kind of just kept getting pushed back, and on pattern, no one really knew what was going on. So fast forward into July, what is it, July 8th today? And I'm still just in Northern California, just hanging out. But you make do with what you get. I made sure to, get an office and run my business out of that, and taking on some in-person clients as much as I can. If you're listening to this and you're anywhere near Sonoma County, California, like, let's get working. All right, let's do like an in-person lesson. But yeah, and now it's official that my independent ball season was officially canceled. So I don't know what's going to happen. I know there's a few leagues out there that are currently playing during the summer. I know that any given day I could literally get a phone call and be like, hey, come out to so-and-so place in the world and like go pitch. And I'll be like, all right, let's freaking go. I'm still throwing all the time just because throwing is extremely fun. I find complete satisfaction and joy out of that. So that's something that I'm always going to do. But I'm in good shape. I feel good. I'm going to put up a page on my website of more like, not so much showing off stuff that I'm doing, but I think it's really cool because every time I throw a bullpen now, I have like the Rapsodo. I have slow-mo pitch design stuff. I have Diamond Kinetics, Pitch Logic. Like I have all these cool like data metric things that I'm using, and I just want to show all you guys that. So be sure to check that out. That's going to be up pretty soon, hopefully, maybe today. I'm not sure. I got a pretty big day today. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I love the game. I'm going to play again sometime, somewhere. I know during winter, I usually go play winter ball anyways, and now that I'm healthy, I'm going to probably at least try to do that. What happens, I can't predict the future with how independent or winter ball leagues are going to be. But so with that being said, we're going to kick it off into a simple just Q&A. Okay. So like I said, I just have my phone here, and I'm going to read off a question, then talk a little bit about it. I have a lot of questions to get to. I'm not sure I'm going to do them all in this podcast episode. But anyways, all right, I got to remember at the 8:40 mark, question number 1. So Cole Mancester is asking, stuck between sidearm, 3/4, or of both with primarily high 3/4 arm slot. Any thoughts? ? Okay, so that's basically just a question on like what is the best arm slot for me, and it's tough, right? Because like obviously I can't see you, I don't have any video, but this is something that I'm always going to talk about with people in determining what their most natural athletic arm path is. There's a couple different ways that I would approach this. First way is extremely, extremely simplistic. Field a ground ball and get rid of the baseball, but try to throw it as possible. Meaning like a good type of drill, I guess, quote unquote drill, would be have a guy at home plate hit you a fungo and you're at like short or third, even if you're a pitcher, I don't care. And have him count down from 4 seconds. So now this forces you to put power and energy behind the baseball, but get rid of it extremely quick, right? This is my conversation with why I think position players have the best hand path and arm actions, because that's the goal of their throw. Their goal of their throw is to increase power and get rid of it as quick as possible. So you watch like outfielders fielding a ground ball and throwing home for the outfield assist. It's beautiful, right? Like the way that their body organizes itself and the way that they get rid of it, but express extreme high power output. It's fantastic. So that's something that I would encourage you to do, is just, field a ground ball, throw it to first. That's going to give you a really good indication of your natural athletic arm path. Now, the second thing is typically standard. Throw the ball as far as you can. Watch what your arm does when you throw the ball as far as you can. This is, I won't go too much into it, but when I was with Pittsburgh, I got released and whoa, I don't want to even go into this. All right. Well, anyways, I had to spend like a whole off season reinventing myself, so to speak, but not so much reinventing myself, but rediscovering my arm slot, because in Pittsburgh, I was trying to sinker. So my arm slot naturally drop. And, there was no more long toss within that organization. So as soon as I got released, it was like, all right, dude, I'm going to start long tossing. Okay. So that naturally got into that slot where I was able to repeat. I talk a lot about repeatability of slot, right? To give yourself the best opportunity to be consistent. So that's a huge layer of slot repeatability, release point repeatability, is identifying your most natural athletic slot. Okay. Second one, we're going to go with best tip I could give to a 13U pitcher. Right off the bat, I have like a bunch of tips, I guess, that would come to my mind. First one would be from like the mental approach, I guess, almost like mental / process orientated approach. I don't know if a 13-year-old would know what process means, but is fall in love with the game, right? Like fall in love with the game. That's like the foundation of it, man. I tell people all the time, like if I didn't love baseball and I didn't love throwing a baseball, quote unquote pitching, I would have been done. I would have hung up the spikes so much longer ago. I don't know if that was the right sentence, but there's been so many things that I've gone through in my career that just like, why am I still playing? This game has not treated me well. But I love it, man. Like the love that I have for the game influences the work that I put into it. Right. And honestly, that's the foundation for not only the reason why I play it, but the reason why I do everything I do online as well, because I love it. And I want to inspire other individuals to love it. Right. Because that's the most important part. If you don't really love it and you get freaking knocked around and pushed down and have a bad outing or not seeing results, it's going to be really easy for you to kind of just give up. But if you love it, there's no such thing as giving up. You're just going to keep grinding, right? Because it's fun. It's a passion. It's not just a hobby. It's a passion. So that's my thing, man, is like fall in love with it. Fall in love with the work. I know it's easier said than done, but that's a huge component. And then from the physical side is just, even though you're a pitcher, don't think that you have to be a quote-unquote PO. Be an athlete. Hit still. Continue to hit, dude. Hit, take grounders, take pop-ups, shag in the outfield, power shag, dive, make web gems, freaking compete against your teammates in anything. Like, just continue to be a kid as long as you can and continue to be an athlete all the time, because that's really important. All right. Number 3. What made you commit to Oregon? So a couple different factors. I took a lot of cool visits throughout my recruiting process. Let's just name them off. First one I took was ASU. I thought ASU was like, oh man, baseball powerhouse. I'm done. Sign me. Let's go. Commit. Where's the papers? I went there, And it was great. I'm not going to ever say anything bad about any of the colleges because I don't have anything bad to say. All right. Me as a human being, especially at that time when I was 18, like I was so focused on what was going to best allow me to accomplish goals, meaning I didn't go out party. I didn't drink. Like I wasn't really concerned about that stuff. So I guess when I went to these like college visits, that was kind of a huge factor, or not a huge factor, but one of the underlying factors of like, okay, does this school just want to like be a college that's everyday college? Like what? I don't know how to do this respectfully. Apologize if I offend anyone, but simply put, Oregon, it just felt like they were really about winning and about the baseball program. And it was going to be the first or second year that they had them in. And I really liked the idea of like me going there, and even as a freshman, like being a dude, that kind of fired me up. And the town of Eugene felt, I don't know, like very low key. I grew up in a small town, so that was a cool piece to it too. And then the basketball aspect of it too, that helped. But yeah, and again, not to be rude or disrespectful to any of the other programs that I went to. They were all great. This was a vibe. But I went to ASU, first one. Second one was University of Kansas. That was freaking sweet. And then 3 was Long Beach, and then 4 was Oregon. And I couldn't go to my 5th one because of basketball reasons, I think. I was like playing. Yeah. Is there some kind of, all right, so sorry, question number 4. Is there some kind of breakdown if I throw my 2-seam faster than my 4-seam? That's funny. No, because I do the same thing. I hope it's not a breakdown. I do the same thing, and I guess the theory that I have with myself on this is due to energy and pressure of my fingers in the center of the base. I throw a 2-seam, so let me grab a baseball. So like my 4-seam, I'm fingers are close, but they're not touching, and my thumb's kind of off to the side of my index. And then when I throw my 2-seam, my fingers are touching, and then my thumb is off to the side, same spot. But the only theory that I would have is since my 2 fingers are touching on my 2-seam, that when I throw it at release, there's more force being applied in the center of the baseball rather than my 4-seam. Even though it's still in the center of the baseball, I don't know. That's like a theory of mine. That's not saying that it's absolute. I'm just that was my spitball. But yeah, my 2-seam it's funny that I say my 2-seam. Legit, don't throw a 2-seam. But if I hold a 2-seam grip, it's usually a mile or 2 harder than my 4-seam, which is frustrating because the pitch metrics on it are not that good. All right, question 5. How to develop pitches without high-tech technology? It's a really good question. And this is something that I'll always, always, always revert back to, no matter how advanced we get with technology and all the gadgets that we can use, is the guy in the box is going to give you all of the information that you need. Like, honestly. Yes, all this data analytics stuff can provide a ton of good but at the end of the day, it's the guy in a box, like the hitter is going to tell you to work on what you don't, right? And I think for most of us, we have the ability to throw a hitter in there, right? And the hitter is going to kind of vary depending on, I would assume, talent level. Like if it's a really good hitter, really high level hitter, there's probably going to be better feedback than if it were like your 12-year-old brother, right? So my encouragement to you, man, is like seek out a hitter that's pretty advanced and put him in the box in your next bullpen. And don't be afraid to ask, because hitters love standing in. So it's like a win-win. And just be like, yo, can I get honest feedback? And that's huge, right? there was another question that I actually just ended up answering on my IG story. And it was, why is my bullpen velo higher than game velo? And I gave my answer, and then I said I would really, really encourage you, instead of throwing bullpens, throw live BPs as much as you can. All right? Live BPs. Kyle Bodie just had a fantastic Twitter thread yesterday, I believe, talking about live BPs and the importance of live BPs instead of bullpens. Oh, go check that out if you can find it. I mean, for me, that was like super eye-opening too. I was like, man, that makes sense, dude. So that's another component, right? So I'm actually going to go. I got a pretty big day, but it was cool back on the mic. Thanks, guys, for listening. Check out everything that I'm publishing. I'm still trying to publish a lot of stuff on my website, therobbyrowshow.com. I have a list right here. I've produced some really cool content of late on my website. Now this is awkward. Anyway, not a huge deal. You can find it if you go there. That's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to try to hit this as much as possible. Less time spent on show notes and editing and sound bites and Instagram posts and all that. I'm just going to throw it up, and you guys can do with it what you want. But I've been getting a lot of requests on it, and been getting a lot of questions about where I'm at, which is cool too, because it kind of makes me feel like, oh, people care. People care about me and not just my content. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Hope everyone is staying safe and wearing masks. I will talk to you on the next episode. But welcome to season 6. We made it. See you guys.